Here are two images of Paris. The time in both the images is exactly 7:30 pm. Doesn't sound believable? That's because the one on the left is Paris, a city in Texas, and the one on the right is the capital city of France. The first Paris is on the time zone GMT 5, while the more famous Paris is on the time zone GMT 2. Over time, the world became a smaller place thanks to development in transportation and communication technologies. People started traveling far and wide. Passenger and goods railway became more frequent with wider coverage. The need for standardization of time became urgent for economic progress. A Scottish Canadian engineer, Sir Sandford Fleming, came to the world's rescue. He designed a system where time would vary by 1 hour every 15 degrees along the longitude away from a set mean time. This is the foundation for the time zones currently in place. The Greenwich Meridian passing through the highly regarded Greenwich Observatory was chosen as the prime meridian. So far so good, right? The trouble, like the one we began with, occurs when the time is adopted based on political boundaries and administrative conveniences. So Fleming had proposed 24 time zones divided at every 15 degrees. However, nations deviated. China, a large country that spans 5 time zones by Sir Fleming's proposal, has chosen to adopt a single time zone. This is why 5 pm in Xinjiang, a western region of China, is so very different from 5 pm in Beijing, despite being in the same time zone. But why is it a problem if 5 pm means less sunlight in some places and more in others? A high solar time and standard time differential could lead to health deterioration in the form of social jet lag. Social jet lag generally happens when the daily timings determined by a social constraint, say a time zone, conflicts greatly with individuals' own biological rhythm or the solar time. An individual's level of stress, ability to rationalize, and productivity are all adversely impacted. When a large country adopts a single time zone, it leads to some pretty absurd timings. In the Xinjiang province, the sun does not set until midnight during summers, and in winter it rises at around 10 am. India is another such example. The sun rises at 4:30 am in Itanagar, the northeast of India, but southern India sees a sunrise almost an hour and a half later at 6 am. This means by the time people are out to work in the northeast, a lot of natural light has been lost. Not just loss of natural light, time zones also have huge economic, social, and psychological costs. Russia is a massive country spanning almost 9,000 kilometers from west to east and was originally divided into 11 time zones. In 2011, Russia decided to reduce its time zones to 9 to make inter-region coordination of business and political activities easier. This greatly disrupted people and animal biorhythms. According to government reports, this led to increased traffic accidents in northern Russia due to darker mornings. It also reduced viewership, affecting television advertisers, and an overall increase in stress levels of both humans and cattle. All this eventually forced the government to revert back to 11 time zones across the country. In 2007, Venezuela changed the country's time zone from GMT 4 to GMT 4:30. However, in 2016, President Maduro reversed this shift to save an energy sector unable to keep up with the burgeoning demand. The move would lengthen the hours of daylight available during working hours, which the government hoped would reduce the demand by offices and households, easing the pressure on the energy sector. For smaller nations, time zones directly affect trade. Samoa Islands realigned its time zone to be more in tune with its Asian trading partners. The Pacific country jumped westwards in time, switching to the other side of the international dateline in the process. This meant that the people went to sleep on a Thursday and woke up on a Saturday. This subsequent shift in uniform time zone allows the tiny nation to have better trade and commerce with Australia, China, and Singapore. So, on one hand, there is a growing demand for bifurcating time zones to be more in tune with solar timings. On the other, the economic costs of managing multiple time zones, especially in large countries, have led to the demand for a single time zone in each nation, if not the globe. This is believed to be more suited to the highly globalized and interconnected economy. The issue here is, although the timing would be universal, the schedules would vary drastically by geography. There already are rebellions to the politically adopted standard time zones. In a bid for optimizing productivity, the tea gardens in India follow their own Chai Bagan time, which is an hour ahead of the standard Indian time. Xinjiang parallelly uses Xinjiang time, which is more in tune with the local solar time and is effectively 2 hours behind the standard Beijing time. All in all, the concept of time may not be political, but time zones definitely are.